Military fat loss secret number 4. Body weight exercise rules. Body weight exercise rules. Now, why am I a big fan, and why is the military such a big fan of body weight exercise? Partially because you can kind of take it everywhere you go. You don't, the military has 1.5 million soldiers in it, in the U.S. military, and you can't buy a Bowflex or a Chuck Norris Total Gym for absolutely everybody out there. So you have to be very, very efficient. And what better way to be efficient than to use body weight exercises like push-ups and pull-ups and dips and sit-ups. But there's also another reason for why body weight exercise is so effective, especially when it comes to fat burning. Here's what happens. When you do let's take a comparison here of a body weight exercise versus a weight training exercise. Because remember, we're focusing on muscle here. Our goal is to stimulate muscle so that when you stimulate that muscle, it will burn body fat 24 hours a day. You'll be able to burn more calories by increasing your metabolism. So let's take a look at the push-up and the bench press as comparisons, because they're the same movement, but done completely differently. Now let's see which one works better. And here's what we need to look at. When you're doing a bench press, you're lying back on the bench, and your back is on the bench, your buttocks is on the bench, usually your upper legs are touching the bench, your shoulder blades are touching the bench. You have all of these points of contact, and you're pushing the weight up in the air. You're pushing the weight through space. Now, your body senses the stability that your core has on the bench. It senses that you have all of these points of contact, and all of those points of contact are creating an impulse, an electrical impulse in your body that is signaling a stability and balance. It's saying, okay, I can push a lot of weight up through the air because most of my body is on solid structure. So you can push more weight. Let's take a look at the push-up because, again, it's pretty much the same movement, but let's look at your points of contact. What you have are your hands are touching the ground and your toes are touching the ground. And you're pushing your entire body up through space. So all you have are these 4 points of contact on the ground. Does that make a difference? Absolutely. Here's why. Because while your body on the bench press senses stability, it senses that strength of the foundation. When you're pushing your body through space and you only have limited points of contact, you may not realize it, but your body senses that as dangerous. Now, you're not pushing yourself very, very far, but your body still has to be able to balance you using those 4 points of contact. Now, that balancing that your body has to do, it all happens subconsciously. It all happens automatic. You don't think about it, but what it does is it senses, it activates your central nervous system because it has to get in all of these other all of these other sensors to be able to keep your body balanced as you're pushing it up and down in the air. And what that does is it calls in more muscle fiber activation from not only your primary muscles but also your stabilizer muscles as well. All of those work without you even thinking about it to a much higher degree. They activate the central nervous system. And whether your goal is to build muscle or burn fat, it all comes down to activation of your central nervous system. That's what's going to send the signal to your body, to your entire body, to do what you want it to do, to stimulate muscle growth, to stimulate fat burning. All of that happens through the electrical impulses in your central nervous system. So body weight exercises do that better than anything else. And that's why the military uses them so predominantly in their program, because it works. And that's what I've done with the Combat the Fat program as well. The core of the program uses body weight exercises. Now, for all of you muscle heads out there who just love to do bench press and squats and everything else, there are provisions in the program, in my Combat the Fat program, for doing weight training as well. And for all of you people who are concerned that you're not going to be able to do a push-up or a pull-up, do not worry. I have grandmothers in their 60s that are now doing pull-ups. The thing about it is because you're activating your central nervous system so well, you're going to see such a great increase in strength, in core stability, and in your overall development and the progress that you see in your gains. So don't worry about it because I have provisions in there for being able to do all of these exercises, no matter what your strength level is, no matter what your age is right now, no matter what your current body type is, or whether you have to lose 10 pounds or 100 pounds, it doesn't matter. There's everything from beginner all the way up to Navy SEAL level in this course. So you never have to worry about whether or not you'd be able to keep up with this type of a program.